Hit that like and sub button, it means a lot. If you want to follow my Twitch in the description of the video. Here's a third video we're recording. This isn't about a comment necessarily, but this is more of me talking about a topic, and that is education system. Now, I'm going to just say it because it's the best way to really do it. This education system in America is absolute dog shit, and that's on God. Okay, now there are plenty of people who will agree with me. We're gonna first talk about college because I think that was the most understanding way to really talk about it in the beginning, at least. Let me take a drink real quick. Um, if okay, now you go to college. Let's say you want to do something. Now this is something I didn't even know for like most of my life actually about college. Now I never really extremely wanted to go to college or anything. There was like a point where I'm like, maybe, but then I was like, no, it's not really worth my time. And the reason why it wasn't really worth my time is because you go to college for let's just say you want to be in a movie, okay? So you're going to the theater, and you think that that class that you're taking would only be theater. I'm gonna be honest, it should be only theater, but the reason why it's not is money, right? Now, if you took one class for a specific class, you have to take math, English, and your core, just your core, right? Your core classes, which I think is ultimately stupid. This isn't high school anymore. This isn't middle school. This is literally college. You should not be taking these classes still. I'm going to be straight with you. You shouldn't. You should not. However, they force you to. No matter what, if you want to take this class, you're going to have to take these core classes, which ultimately I think is the dumbest shit in the world. I really do. But also, there are so many things that you really don't need college for that it has college classes for. And I think that is very, very unfortunate. Because in reality, do you really need to go to the theater class at some fucking education school or whatever, college? Do you really need that? No, actually, you don't. Do you know how many people go without college? Now, I will say, with college, it is easier. Sure, it's easier to find an agent and all this other stuff. I know somebody who's never went to college for acting. Hey, guess who's an actor? Or actress, I should say. Her. You know? And I think people gotta realize that just because you follow a certain mandatory bullshit from the education system, which by the way is just a way to get money from people, to be honest. It really is. Think about all these different shit that America has versus some other country which is a better education system, right? Finland, for example, is literally number one in the education system. We're like number like 38, I think, or something like that. I don't remember. It's been a while since I looked. But my point is, they don't have standardized testing even. Like, you know how much money each state has for standardized testing? Now, yeah, I live in Michigan. I don't know how much they earn or anything, but I'm pretty sure it's quite a bit. And these pieces of paper standardized testing cost them money, and I think that's fucking dumb, by the way. And it's not always pieces of paper now, it's on the computer. And all the time, most of the time when I took these tests, they had nothing to do with what we were learning most of the year. Like, it was so stupid. Like, sure, maybe there's one or two things that we've learned, but, or one or two topics, sure. But then they would have, like, extra, like, 5 topics that no one fucking knows. And you have to sit there for 2 hours taking this test that doesn't actually matter unless you want to go to college. That's pretty much really it. I mean, sure, you have to take them in order to graduate high school, for example. I think that is stupid as fuck, by the way, completely and utterly. But also, now let's talk about the education system other than college and the waste of time college is. Let's talk about now. Oh, before I do talk about that, I will say, like, obviously, if you want to be a doctor, you have to go to college. Sure, obviously, but at the same time, wouldn't it take less years to do that if you only had to be in doctor classes or however the fucking term is, whatever the class is? Wouldn't you be quicker at becoming a doctor than what does it take, 12 years? I'm pretty sure it could take less time if you only had to do that specific class. I don't understand this. Like, I don't get it. Other than, hey, we want money, so, hey, you're gonna have to pay us for these extra classes that you have to take that, you know, we basically force upon you. Like, it's so dumb. And now, before, or high school, now, actually, before we go to high school, middle school and elementary are, it's very unimportant still, but you learn more value in middle school and elementary than high school. What you learn in high school can cause you like mental health things, like a very very damaged mental health. I mean that shit can happen in middle school too, and elementary even, but it's worse in high school. It is severely worse. Now, basically, let me point out some things. Elementary, you learn 99% of everything you fucking need, in the last 1% is in middle school. It really is. What does it teach you other than, hey, you're forced to do this for like how many years until you graduate, And then when you turn to high school, you realize, hey, this is when the grades actually matter in the first place. And then you go through freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, and senior year. And you realize, or for me, my senior year, I went homeschool. I finished in 2 months. That's all I gotta say about that. I finished in 2 months. And you could finish in 2 months too. If you took the time out of all your days to really focus on these classes that shouldn't really matter in high school anymore. Um, and you finish, and then that's it. That's all you really get. You get a piece of paper that says, "Hey, you graduated." That's it. That's really it. And sure, you might get college offers even. And if you get a college offer, maybe decide to take that as long as you're not spending your own money, right? I mean, most of the time you're spending your own money anyway. I mean, up here, there's like, you have to pay 50 grand a year to eat lunch at the school when not everyone even eats lunch at the school. It is the dumbest shit in the world. Why should I have to pay for food that I haven't ate yet? Like, what? It's the dumbest shit in the world. That's what I'm saying. Every single college has some fucking bullshit price for, like, just lunch. And I think it is the dumbest shit. I don't know if every single college is like specifically where you have to pay, I think it's a half year or a full year of that payment. Or it's, I don't know if every college is exactly like that. However, the ones up here are, and I think that is so stupid. We should not be forced to pay 50 grand for food we have not ate yet. We should be paying that when we eat it, because there are different types of food that cost different amounts. It shouldn't fucking, it shouldn't matter. I should be able to go eat somewhere else if I want to, and not have to worry about paying that extra money when I don't even eat that. You know what I mean? And I think that is ultimately the dumbest thing in the world. And I guess sure, lunch is kind of free, not really, because you wasted 50 grand on that. And and then how many people end up in these or in fucking what you want to call it, debt. You end up in debt for years, and then there's tons of people who end up in debt, and then they don't go. They move somewhere to, go for what they went to college for, and try to use that, and then 99% of the fucking time they don't even get the job they want to do. It's not worth it. It's really not. Like, let's say I went to college for becoming, maybe I wanted to be in a movie or TV show or something, and I wanted to be an actor and all this other stuff. There was a point where I did want to, and sometimes I still think about it, to be honest. But I'd also rather not go the long route and go, hey, I'm gonna go to college and waste these years of my life when I could get better at home even. Like, I could literally get better doing shit myself and or make my own content, make my own movie, pretty much. I mean, with YouTube and stuff like that, right? I could. Short films are a thing, you know, I can do that. You know, there's tons of shit that I can do to use my creativity. And I mean, there was a short TV or short movie I saw, or short film, I should say. And guess what? That's becoming its own fucking TV show. I don't remember what it's called, but it's literally becoming its own TV show after a short film on YouTube. That is amazing to me. And guess what? They didn't go to college, or at least for this. You don't need to. You really don't. The college for film too. It's like you telling me you can't learn to film yourself. You know, like you can't do this. Come on, I don't believe that at all. Sure, you might need help with something, like let's say editing a YouTube video, right? You might need help with that, but do you need to take a full fucking course on that? No, you shouldn't have to. You should not be forced to take these classes. And then, okay, back to high school. You take all these standardized tests. You know, each year you learn basic shit that actually doesn't matter. You reuse shit you learned in middle school just to refreshen your mind, I guess. Because, you know, you totally didn't use that outside of school. You probably didn't. And guess what? You graduate and then you still haven't used anything you learned out of high school unless you go to college and you take these classes and then they make you do these classes that you already learned and you're just relearning it again, and then you're learning newer stuff that doesn't actually matter and doesn't pertain to every single say everyday life. And it is the dumbest shit in the world. So if I go to college and I go, you know, I have to take a math class, you might as well give me a fucking math degree at the end of the day at the same time as I'm getting my own degree for something else. You should. Because at the end of the day, you're forcing me to take this class and I should be getting something for that, shouldn't I? I should be getting paid to go to college just to take your classes that you're forcing on people. Isn't that true? Like, you force it on people. And it's the dumbest shit in the world. It is, on God, probably the worst thing in the world. In the world. In the world. And I don't know how many times I gotta say in the world. It is actually annoying and terrible, and the education system probably won't ever get better because they like money, and that's facts. Now, I'm gonna make another video right after this talking about something else that doesn't really necessarily pertain to the education system, but it has to pertain to money, and there's a reason why. So, hit you guys up later. Hit that like and sub, that means a lot. If you want to follow me on Twitch, in the description of the video, also do everything else. Like join my Discord, etc. Check out my sponsorships. And yeah, peace. Much love.